Australia is in high demand for quality skilled workers. Jobs abundant in Australia. Anybody thinking about moving out of the UK, then Australia is obviously the #1 choice. Australia is just going into a building boom yet again. Of course, work it out for yourself, that says everything. If you're in the building trade or suppliers or logistics of it, management levels and transport, right across the board. IT, everything's IT these days, even the old Ford freight companies all driven on IT. So it's a massive, massive opportunity for all skill sets in the UK, and that's another great point why I'm on that. This country, UK, you are highly qualified, you are well experienced, you are very, very professional at whether you be a bricklayer or a skilled worker, right up to a professional. You are highly trained, very, very good. Australia is looking for this, and it's really the mindset. We're always looking for the best. Most of you watching this will say, that's me. If you're a carpenter, a bricklayer, tradesperson, professional, right across the board, at the moment, you will probably be on the critical skilled list. I say to everybody out there, now is the time to look at migration for Australia. It's going to be a massive boom in 2010-11. The process is certainly an 18-month to 2-year program normally. That has been pushed out in some cases for 3 years, 36 months. It will change. So if I'm talking again to the camera in say 3 months' time or 6 months' time, my story could very well change. But at the moment, anybody who's very serious about Australia should get into the migration process now. If you're a plumber, a plasterer, a bricklayer, carpenter, electrician, whatever it may be, or a professional doctor, dentist, whatever it may be, if you have gone through the skilled process here in the UK prior to departure, would you believe that we can actually get you a job and take you to Australia as long as your skills have been assessed prior? This is a key factor. Things have changed. The government is under a tremendous demand and stress to deliver, and with the demand of numbers approaching Australia, it's very difficult. So what they've done is changed all the rules. Unfortunately, the bureaucrats have stepped into government, made it harder for you. You're a bricklayer? Sorry, but you will have to have your skills assessed. We know you're a bricklayer, even if you've got your city and guilds. You still have to go through this governing body. So it's actually there for the right reasons. It's protecting you in the future. If you go to Australia, you'll be assessed, you'll be a properly qualified migrant. And therefore, your job as a plumber, bricklayer, electrician, doctor will be secured. What I'd like to talk about now is something we've got quite unique within our migration business, and it's a thing called Job Finder Plus. There's a lot of people out there that don't meet the migration requirements. You could be 45, you're a bricklayer, qualified, done all your years of training, etc., working hard. But anybody over the age of 45 has a problem with migration because it's over the skilled limit. 45 is our maximum limit. So we looked at this and for years have been trying to work out what we could do. And what we've done is we've come up with a thing called Job Finder Plus. For a start, for the Job Finder, you can put your CV up on our website free of charge, absolutely free. Welcome, most welcome. The more I've got on there, the better. But the Job Finder Plus is one step further. What it does, we do charge for this, and we'll go through that later. But it's a service where somebody in Australia and here in the UK will be actually searching jobs on your behalf. The free part, of course, is you put your CV up there, and if somebody was to contact you through our website, great. Then we've achieved something for you. But it's not likely to happen that way. It's very difficult to get a job from the UK. 3 reasons for that, and I'm sure you'd understand. But number 1, you can have the best CV in the world. Fantastic. You send it out to 1,000 contacts, you might get 10 phone calls back. That's the easy part. They'll drill you down to the last 1, 2. So that's 1, you've got a great CV. Number 2, they're going to drill you down. What's the third thing? Well, the third thing is they want to do an interview with you, and this is the difficult part. It's a long way to Australia to do an interview. So we devised a system where we can actually talk on your behalf. If you join our Job Finder Plus scheme, it's brilliant. It's a very, very affordable entry market to the migration plan of your dream to come true. Very important. We actually value each and every one of these particular clients. These are people who have been disadvantaged by the system or by the fact that you just got to 45 and you just thought, well, what am I doing in this country? It's time to leave, and realised didn't understand migration. Not your fault at all. So our job is to try and get you there. And let me tell you, if you're 45 plus, you've got a skill, you're a bricklayer, a carpenter, or a doctor, a dentist, whatever, I can get you to Australia. And simply by joining our Job Finder Plus program, it's brilliant. I think myself personally, it's one of the best things we've done and one of the best things on offer for you. And what it does, if you've still got the skill set, if you don't, we'll take you through the AQF program to get you to the skill set, by the way. But once you've got that skill set, we actually get a job for you in Australia. What we do in that process is we actually speak to the employer in Australia before you accept that job, for example. This is the most critical part of your future. So don't get caught up in all the hoo-ha of we've got a job for you. No, there's jobs there. That's not the issue. But the employer has got to go through a lot of protocol. We as a government representative have to make sure that that employer is eligible to actually sponsor you in the first place. There's a lot of criteria. The paperwork is not that thick, it's that thick. So it's not simple, guys, and I think so do consider Job Finder Plus. I think for anybody who's looking for a job in Australia, this will give you not only the security of knowing that when you do get there, the job is secure, number one. Number two, that you do have a migration company behind you, so that to convert it from a job into migration, you have to have a good migration company behind you. So Job Finder Plus, again, I just think it's the answer to a lot of the problems we have here in the UK. One of the great things about migration and using a migration company is the fact that once you leave the shores of the UK and you arrive in Australia, as a migration company, we are at least 2 years bound to you. So my office in Australia, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, you've got someone you can turn to. You are not on your own. We have a relocation pack for that, but that's another aside. But the thing that is important, that when you get to Australia, one phone call on arrival, we can meet you at the airport, whatever it takes, but we're only just a phone call away. That's important, it really is. But when it comes to migration, we're legally tied to you for at least 2 years. In some cases, would you believe, up to 4 years, even 5. So it's not a matter about taking your money here in the UK and then saying, nice, thank you very much, folks, bye-bye Blackbird. Far, far from it. Migration is run by our Australian government, and we have rules to abide by. And one of the rules is the fact is when you get on shore, you still have your registered migration agent looking after your affairs. Critical, so important. Jobs is the future for Australia. It's jobs, jobs, jobs. And there's all this modern terminology about location, location, location. It's all about called Australia now, as simple as that. I mean, a blind man's dog can tell you that Australia is the #1 place to be. But that's great for an Australian. I'm Australian, very lucky. Didn't realise how lucky I was, or how lucky I am, to be able to go home to Australia. Living in the UK, love your country. I really do, but it's lost the plot. Simple as that. So I'm very blessed and lucky I can go home. When I retire, put my feet up, go fishing, go for a cappuccino on the beach, watch the passing parade. What a wonderful way to retire. So we're Australia, that's the future. There's 132 visa classes to go to Australia, very complex indeed. But if you really, really want Australia, there is a visa for you. And all we ask is you sit with us, give us your time. I want your CV, I need a CV or your story. I need a starting point. Our telephone calls are free. Our callbacks are free. Happy to guide you through it. But there is a visa for you. If you really want Australia, we'll find the way for you.